Welcome back. We now move on to the second session, Circular Economy in Agriculture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, good evening again. Very important topic. Wherever we consult a lot of things, this is one of the point which is coming, and very happy that Atal Innovation is taken a cue to spread the image or about what is the role of circular economy in the consumer side as well as on the production side, right? Because there will be always somebody who consumes, and then always somebody will be producing it. So what is the value chain impact which is available? That is what we are going to cover here. And so if you see again that the context which we wanted to give as a part of the greening the future, because this is what the topic which is being given. What is the role of circular economy? Okay, circular things, because circularity. If anyone now people are fresh after a bio break, can anybody tell me what is circular economy as per you? Anyone? Whether it is non-correct also, it is okay. Absolutely not a problem. Yeah. Silent. Long silent. Anyone? What is circular economy as per you?
Sir, recycle and reuse, I think.
One more thing is missing in the first. Gayatri madam. First,
Okay.
reduce. Okay.
Reduce.
Whatever be the current status, we have
reduce, recycle, and reuse.
Reuse second, then recycle.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, correct. So again, the contribution is coming only from the person. Again, she's giving. Please understand, it is not to test your knowledge. It is not to test your high skills. It is to understand how we are preparing for a participate in a discussion. Okay. In a discussion, when it is happening, don't feel that I'm a professor who's coming and talking. I'm a specialist who's coming and talking. You have to think that one of the colleague is coming and delivering a lecture. So recently, when I'm consulting one of the company which has got global present employees, they invited one of my colleague. He's also working along with me in the consulting arrangement. His age is 42 years. He has been asked to present in front of 51 global leaders. So when he had given a perspective, everybody was asking, okay, why this gentleman was selected, right? But in the next 10 minutes, they thought, okay, something else is coming out for them to seek knowledge. So please understand, You may get knowledge from anyone. You get the fantastic skills from anyone. You should be open. That is called growth mindset, right? When you are open and you are able to take many challenges irrespective of the age, because I'm telling you why I'm repeating everyone. Most of the people feel that, sir, age ho gaya, sir. I'm settled, sir. I'm a AP now. I'm a professor of Emirates. Reach ho gaya, sir. ये नहीं है. So learning is a timeless one. You have to read, understand, because as I said, the rate of change outside is enormous, sir, because in my daily walk, almost about 1 hour, 45 minutes, one audio clip will go. The second audio clip will cover 30 minutes by the time I complete my morning rituals. But during that time, I take my notes. Okay, these are all the new topic which I have to refer, I have to understand, then get into some amount of research for the day during the consulting assignment. And the experience which is coming on at self-discovery is always fantastic. But today you have been fortunate enough, somebody else is providing this opportunity. Please make use of the opportunity. That is what it is from my side. So what we will cover, the session objectives, we will understand the circular economy in the agriculture context, because there are many contexts. So in the manufacturing, there are circular economy. In electronics and electronic vehicle production, there is a circular economy. So many things are happening, but we will put a very specific context on agriculture context here. And what are the strategies for resource optimization? When I say resource optimization, input side reduction, production side reduction, output side increase, okay, and how to reduce the waste actually, because as I said, from the waste to wealth is a separate topic. Whatever be the things which has been collected from your home today, it is going to a dump yard. From the dump yard, it is getting segregated into different one: metallic, non-metallic, organic, non-organic, okay, reusable, non-reusable. Then it is getting processed differently, and it is being made. There are people, they are working on bricks out of the waste collection in UP. There are people, they are working on rice hugs, that is the plates for eating from the rice wastage of production. And that rice waste, once it has been consumed by the human, it can be given to animal. So there are many things which is happening with respect to resource optimization and waste reduction, and what identify some of the sustainable agriculture development in India. That is what we will cover in this session. And it is very, very important, because as I said, overshoot day, you can also type and see what is overshoot day. So there is a overshoot day which has happened every year. We are supposed to consume this many, we are supposed to emit only this many carbon dioxide, which is a definition for every country has got a specification. But as a globe, we already overshooted in the month of July. Okay, so I have written an article about that, because which is very important to understand. Within 7 months, we are consuming the 1 year ka target. Whatever be the prescribed target, we are consuming in 1 year, which is good for you. But you will say that, sir, mera kya fayda hai, sir? I am consuming less. No. From a normal electricity to solar based electricity, when a normal electricity to normal motor to BLDC based motor, normal fan which is available at your house, which consumes 75 watts of power, but the BLDC which is consumed as low as 18 to 25 watts. What is a message? Because even if the excess production, you are excess consumption of carbon dioxide. Every excess production, whether it is any eatables, whether it is reduction, any waste, again, the excess carbon dioxide which is happening. If any forms or resource which you can reduce, you can recycle, and you are also able to make repurpose or reproduce some of the things. That is what we will be covering in the session 2. So if we see why the circular economy is very, very important, right? There are challenges which is available on food security, because today how much of soya bean which is being imported to India, if you take the data and see, our soya bean production is very, very low. What is the oil seed production which is available in the country, which is also a data point which is available. We are some of the traditional oil we are good, but there are some special oil we are importing today. What is a massive amount of agriculture waste? Because whenever there is a waste which is happening, food waste or whatever be the things, it is often polluting the environment. Because, for example, you throw it in the garbage, then the wastage is very, very high, right? So you have to ensure that it is very imperative for a sustainable growth, because okay, I reduce first at the per capita level. Per capita means at a person level, then family level, then community level, then village level, then state level, then to the national level. So everyone has got a role to play. It is not that okay, it will be done by government. No. So मेरे के लिए पानी आ रहा है मेरा कॉर्पोरेशन वाटर में, okay, let me consume, let me open the tap and go, कुछ problem नहीं, because these are all fixed meters. But wherein in Singapore, the inlet and outlet is being charged. When I say inlet supply of water, the outlet is कितना waste आपका waste water में आ रहा है, for which also you have to pay, right? So they created a system in a such a way you have to have a balance of work, balance of consumption. मेरा पास पैसा available है, I'll go to a 5-star hotel and take all the things into my plate, and at the end I will waste it. That is also, as a consumer, as a personal level, you are not thinking about sustainability. If I have excess paisa, I cannot spend it. Okay, I will buy definitely some luxury cars and spend as we wish. It is up to you. How much it is needed. If you start consuming, definitely the circularity which is coming as a principle. So that is very, very important at a personal level, as a family level, as a community level, as a village level, then to the district level, then to the state level, then to a country level. So every state which has got consumption, there are two things which is happening. One is linear agriculture, another one is circular agriculture. What is linear? Linear is very clear. Input produce waste. Okay, कितना होना चाहिए उतना produce कर दो, उतना waste कर दो. That is linear. It is a straight line, and it is a highly resource intensive input. Okay, I am not thinking about how I can at a family level, what are the things I can make it. If there is a wastage which I can reduce at my family level, can I the resources of the input which has been reduced? Yes. Then here actually regenerate, use, recover, and design out of waste, right? And it is also soil regeneration and recovery, because you have to, because for example, your body is immune for bad contaminated water for a long time. All of a sudden you are taking RO water, your body will not respond. First and foremost, you have to ensure that you are taking a good water, which with the proper minerals, proper. There are chemicals also you are supposed to take. So all the things has to be there: minerals, chemicals, everything which is needed. But these are all prescribed level, right? So first and foremost, you have to understand the linear progression versus the circular progression. Yes, if we are start working on the circular solution, which is untapped potential, definitely the 92 million tons of wastage which is available, which is contributing to the pollution of agriculture waste, which can be significantly changed to waste to wealth, organic fertilizers, and which is also ensure that the biodiversity which is also been increased to the level of the environment, right? So what are the three important factors which is very important in the principle of circular economy? The frameworks provides take, make, dispose model, which is linear, which is very clearly okay, whatever you wanted to produce, because the circular as a economy as a notion, you would have heard this in the last 5 years, but now it is getting very, very intensive. But before that, we never even bothered. Okay, we will say that power cut ho raha hai. Okay, am I consuming the power properly? What, there is a 3 kilowatt of power which I am consuming, but how can it can become 8 kilowatt? How it can become 10 kilowatt? Every AC is running, everything is running. But these are all 5-star AC versus 3-star AC versus 2-star AC. Do you have the awareness level? My investment level will be thoda sa jada when I wanted to make it for a solar based home production versus I will depend on wholly on the subsidies and everything. So please understand, the linear model is not sustainable. 100% it is not sustainable. So you have to design waste out of waste. From a waste, what are the things which is being created? You have to have more and more such a things. For example, agriculture, implementing precision farming, reducing the chemical reuse, adopting natural pest control, and converting the agriculture residues into a value product, like biochar from corn waste, crop waste, and the in the diesel and petrol, currently we are adding one more component. Can anybody tell? Your normal diesel and petrol, we are adding
ethanol, sir.
yeah.
Ethanol, sir.
Yeah, great. So ethanol, if you see ethanol, 20% blending which is happening.
केक इस बार उन्होंने चॉकलेट वाला भेजा है
स्वाति मैडम आपका फोन आवाज आ रहा है।
मेरे को दूध केक भाई आंटी वाली ये तो पूरी वैसी वाली नहीं आ रही, मुझे वैसी वाली भेजिए। बनाते हैं ये नैरेटिव तो इनका सबसे बड़ा नेता बनाते दिखे तो कंफ्यूजन वही कब
हम उनका आज का बयान लेते हैं। वो जो आज कह रहे थे ये हो सकता होगा, हम लोगों ने गलती की, हमें स्वीकार कर रहे हैं। लोग चाकू ले सकता है जो वो कह रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी अगर सीधे कम ज्यादा हो गई तो
काले नाश्तो पूछे क्यों होगा
स्वाति मैडम, can you switch off?
डालना पहला कराई
पूरा आवाज आ रहा है। शैलजा मैडम, can you mute her actually? So this is what will happen when you are not synced to the session. I think it is not good to have such a practices when you are actively involve yourself. Otherwise, you can eject out of the program. That's all I can say, right? So please understand, especially with respect to the designing out of the waste, you have to ensure that you have to think about all the procedures and keep products and materials in use, whatever with applications which is needed, whether it is paper or energy or transport or energy which is electrical energy, anything which is coming out, you have to ensure that you are properly using it. And if you are able to regenerate some of the natural system and embrace the regenerative farming practices like cover cropping, diverse cropping, crop rotation, agroforestry, biodiversity, to build soil health, enhance water and retention, it will ensure that you are all going through the principle of circular economy, right? So circular economy is always interconnected, right? When I say I produce ethanol, for producing ethanol, you are either a special quality of corn is used. There are rice crops also, some of the rice based ethanol is there. But the government said that this is a quality I need so that I can blend it along with petrol. And currently 20% of the petrol which we are using, which is a blended ethanol. That means whatever be the 90 rupees or 100 rupees, usme 20 rupees which is going back to the farmers as an income, right? So the best ethanol for blending, government pays around 36 rupees per liter, and that is getting blended and it is being reused for the farmers. So you have to ensure that as a every level you are thinking about how to reduce, how to recycle, and how to ensure that, okay, while making it, can I make it as repurpose the entire one so that it can be used for some other purpose, from a rice to a rice husk that can be used for as a eating plates. Then once a purpose is done, then you can give it for the animals for as a feeder, right? So this is a this is the principles of circular economy, and there are many opportunity, innovation, sustainability is happening on this particular area, wherein if you see water to resource conservation is happening. Okay, less water. For example, if you see one of the startup at Hyderabad, what they have done in a rice crop, the roots can go only up to 12 inches. Maximum it can go up to 12 inches. So they design a system in such a way that after 12 inches, there is a barrier they have made it. It can be a small temporary barrier in the sand, and they put the barrier, they put the IoT device for tracking the water level. Then they put the soil. Then they started forming on the top, and today the water level has been reduced to almost about 20 times lesser than the normal level. That is, even to the millet level of watering, they are able to further reduce. So this is one of the resource conservation for water, which is something which is happening on the agriculture side. With respect to packaging, I've been working with the two startups actually. So one is reuse of plastic. So he collects the plastics out of the unaccounted plastics which is available after our daily use or our production use. Then he makes sheets out of it, and after the sheets are made, he creates reusable pouches out of that one. So then he supplies to all the food companies with a label saying that reusable plastic. So if you see in the plastic, if you are able to reuse and avoid such a plastics to the which is not dumped to the earth, which will solve many such problems for the environment. So drastically reducing the plastic waste in the supply chain. That is why government also insisting single-use plastics. They are using cloth as an alternative. They are also saying that, okay, can you use any other special one? For example, currently we are working with one startup which is based at Himalayas. They are using the pine leaves. From the pine leaves, they are also creating different bags, and they are giving to the market. So you have to ensure that the sustainable packaging which is being used. One of the startup which we are working, they are using a bubble out of the corn waste. So the corn waste which has been used as a bubble, the bubble which has been created, which has been used for electronic packaging. Once the electronic packaging purpose is solved, then they can dump into the earth. Within 1 month, it decomposes, and it also parts of the earth within a month. So the plastic one, he has created a technology. It can decompose currently on 14% of the plastic can be decomposed by a special technology. So the packaging side, there are a lot of things which is happening. In the precision agriculture side, there are IoT, AI, and smart irrigation and targeted nutrition management. For example, if you have to put in the root only nutrition, it goes very clearly. So, for example, there is a nano bubble technology. Nano bubble technology of water, if it is being used, it can produce oxygen at the ground level after 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Even it can produce oxygen after 2 months. So nanobubble is one of the technology which has been in the water level, which has been used for precision agriculture. Regenerative farming, because the regenerative farming is always restoring the soil health. As I said rightly, health of the soil has to be ensure that it is having the proper health, and increases the biodiversity, and increasing the carbon level, and building a resilient and productive ecosystem. So when we say that it is a sequential crop rotation is one of the one. Okay, first crop can be rice, second crop can be a intermediate crop, can be vegetables, then the third crop can be some of the beans which is needed, then fourth crop can be your rice again. So by rotating the crop, your soil content will increase, your biodiversity will increase, and you are having stocks what is needed, because when there is a demand is high, your supply is also always need to be high. But if the supply is less, then you have to have a import in place, because with the 150 crore of population, it is very highly possible to have a control. So until unless we have a very resilient system for regenerative farming, it is very high possible to achieve the results. For example, if you see, there are natural cows which can give only 2 liters of milk, but there are cows which produces around 19 liters of milk. But there are cows which is being used abroad with the something which is not needed, which produces some 50, 60 liters of one. So people say it is not even milk. So please understand what is needed. You have to ensure that that is being produced, and that same quality is being maintained forever, right? So, and the local food system, because whether it is pizza or anything which is okay, but you have to have your cultural context which has been there. We need to have, okay, I am very good at my roti with the dal, sabji, I should continue that. I am good at idli or dosa, I should continue that, right? Maybe a variety will be good, but the usage has to be properly planned, so that you are always planning for the local food system, and you are also having a cultural value which has been built onto the system. And agri-tech innovations, because this is very, very common today. It is working on all directions to ensure that we use less, produce more. We use less, produce more, and less wastage, and then recycle, then repurpose, then circular. So all the dimensions we are seeing, so that whatever be the things which is available, which is being controlled at every level, right? So today there is a potential for further improving 15 billion. We can produce 1.5 gigawatts of power out of the agriculture waste, and post harvest, as I said, 30% to 25% reduction, which is 100% possible, so that only 5% wastage is always there, and farm income which increases 30 times. That is from 1,000 rupees, which is increased to almost 30,000 rupees. That is what the ambition of this particular project. And it takes time, because every linear progression will not get a result, but the circular progression will get result. For example, one of the startup which is working on the banana tree waste which is available. For example, if you see 1 acre of banana tree waste which is available, which will produce a lot of chemical, because the stem which is available, it also has got some kind of chemicals. So always for a farmer, which is a challenge. So this particular person has created a small textile fabric out of the shell of the banana leaves. So he produced that one, and he has created a small textile machine. Then using the machine, he is able to create knots, and that knots which is being given to artisan, and the artisan produces a fantastic handicrafts, and handicrafts are getting exported to the entire Middle East today, Middle East and Europe. So he makes almost about 80 lakhs today, and it is only a circular economy. And what is the effort? Next effort is for a 1 acre banana waste, he gives 5,000 rupees. He says, you just transport and give it to my warehouse. And he works only with a 20 kilometers radius, and he is able to take all the productions based on the plan. So please understand, there's a potential is very huge, and it makes a lot of changes with respect to the one which is available. So what are the models which has been useful in the circular economy? For example, regenerative production, resource efficiency. For example, the farm resources which has been used for horizontal and vertical inputs, waste input loops. Okay, if you see the input from the waste which is coming, which is being used for other purposes, and value added post harvest loops, and energy nutrition loop, village and cluster loops. For example, integrated farming. Integrated farming means you have a farm practices, you have animals, you have horticulture, you have fisheries, all in one farm. That is what I said, the 9-acre farm which I visited. He has got a pond, a fish pond, he has got a desi cows as well as the special breed of cows. Then he has got fantastic hens and turkeys which is available in that farm. And but none of the biodiversity is disturbed. So they live on their own level, and whatever be the input which is going for the farmers is from the animals, and the manure is being made, and whatever be the food or the production which is being fed to the animals and the birds and the fishes. So you have to ensure that it's all zero budget farming on an integrated way, where the knowledge of every system is needed, because you cannot just start a dairy farm tomorrow. It needs a lot of knowledge. It needs a lot of system to be understood. So once you have the knowledge and the system, definitely you are able to make some amount of change in the different economic models which is available for the one. So what are the policies and global perspective? Because today, if you see the sustainable development goals, which has been made by UN, where zero hunger, clean water, responsible consumption and production, climate action. These are all the 4 SDG goals. Zero hunger means there should not be a person who is available with a hunger. At least a meal a day, or 2 meals a day, or 3 meals a day. It should be fed. So today, there are some kind of progression, but there are still poverty level exist in India. So SDG 2 is one of the goals, and SDG 6 is a clean water. Because today, if you go to even the deep rural, which is almost about 700 kilometers from the urban, always have a challenge, because even that level there are pollutions are happening. And responsible consumption, when I say responsible consumption, overuse also a problem. Okay, I will take 10 rotis instead of 2 rotis or 3 rotis. This is also not correct, right? So we have to ensure that I have a responsible consumption of everything which is available. I will consume only 300 liters of water for bathing. There are specifications which is available for everything. Every family has to consume only 1,500 liters of water every day. So every level you have to ensure that there is a regulation, there is a protection, and there is a responsible consumption which is happening. Then the SDG goal 13 is climate action, because today most of the things which is unpredictable is environment. So the spillage of waste, the water contaminated, then the water contaminated water which is being fed again, and the uncontrolled water which creates problem for the soil, and the soil which is being depleted, which is not good for farming. So it is a circular impact. So you have to ensure that all the 4 dimensions which has been as per the SDG are well protected, and there are Paris Agreement which is also protect the gas emissions, and what are the carbon sequestration which has been done to reduce fertilizer, And what is the mitigation system? Because today, if you talk about all these things, it is not possible to change everything in one go. But you have to make an attempt, right? So that attempt is available. And the National Mission for Agriculture, Sustainable Agriculture, that is why the government of India and PM Kushum scheme, which is also reducing resilient fossil fuels for irrigation, promoting decentralized renewable energy, whether it is from solar, whether it is from the energy which is coming out of your ethanol. So what is the alternate fuel which we can create? EV vehicles. For the EV vehicle, what is the level of battery which you need to have? What are the special minerals which you have to have, so that can I process it in India? So there are so many schemes are working so that the energy circularity is achieved. And the Swachh Bharat mission, because this is one of the program which is 10 years before started, because if you talk about the railways 10 years before and now, there are a lot of changes, right? So in terms of the cleanliness, in terms of the availability, in terms of the circularity, so many changes will change the practices which is available, which will make the circularity to happen, whereby the organic waste is is being made as a manual. So what are the circularity on policy recommendations? Because incentivize the circularity practices, strengthen R&D, develop market linkages, standardization and certifications for the best consumer trust, and faster public and private partnership. So you have to ensure that there are proper systems which is in place, so that these things are 100% it is possible, right? So till now, do you have any doubts? Or anyone wants to talk about the perspective of the circularity in their day-to-day life? Okay, I have been working in this outside my purview, or any experience on the circularity, you can talk. Anyone? I think we have to call by name so that we can ask something, whether they are attending or not attending.
सॉरी सर 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 क्वेश्चन क्या था? अटेंडिंग.
With respect to circularity,
Okay,
any
sir.
example you can give? Gayatri madam, you have been contributing. I will come back to you. I'll come back to you, but
Sir,
so,
I heard there is a circularity called the government is giving so many funds to the fertilizer companies, which is not getting by the farmers. The actual amount is not getting by the farmers. Only the fertilizer companies, they were getting the complete fund. If suppose the farmers will get it, definitely it is usable to the farmers and also for whatever the consumers also. And one more thing, the awareness programs are very much minimized. Actually, from the government side or else from the program side, the awareness to the all agriculturist is very important. As of my knowledge, I'm thinking.
okay, madam. So thank you, Annapurna madam. Fertilizer company, you see there is a subsidy which is available.
Am I audible?
Yeah, Lavanya madam. Yeah.
So here I just want to highlight here an intervention between a public and a private. So where there are agri startups who are working on to get benefit of the agriculture output. Similarly, the government is introducing so many policies. So intervention of these two and collaborating public with the private and their uh, support for farmers is highly needed. So that can help in circular economy also. So that is what I input.
Great, madam. Anyone else? Dr. Anupji, any input, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. Circular economy, sir. Circular economy in your perspective.
From my perspective, it's an economy which is not end in itself, and which can actually that has been what I have been observed that this has been on papers more than on practice. And suppose recycling of water bottles, this has not been properly communicated to the people, and there is no at such places where this could be done. That awareness is only on paper, it's not on practice. This is what I perceive, sir.
Okay, great, sir. So I'll tell you, sir, I'm working with the two startups. Again, one is a organic a store. They are doing almost about 1.2 crores of sale every year. Two stores, one in Coimbatore, one in Chennai. They have taken a call saying that I will not use plastics for my packaging at all. Okay, simply they said, okay, I will not use any kind of plastics. I will use paper bags or I will use cloth bags. Or they insisted that for the consumer, whoever is coming, you bring the bags. Okay. So initial level mein thoda sa mushkil tha because paper has got less power because if you put 5 kg, there is a problem. But when you see the impact, they reduced 300 kg of almost about 300 kg of plastics every month. So last
Yes, but this uniformity of policy is missing.
Yeah.
Uniformity
So
of such measures are missing.
Yeah, I agree, sir. And this is possible because of the conviction of the founder. Because if the founder is convinced, okay, I have to make a change, that is happening. For example, today if you see, when you go to any toilet or airport, there is a tissue paper which is available. Okay, tissue paper which is being kept. But I had seen, I as a person, when I go there, I use my handkerchief. If I need, I will take one and use that. But there are people, they just pull like this, keep on pulling it. Because whenever you are pulling, you have to see that there is backside, there is a tree is being cut, right? Because paper is coming out of, not from paper, it is coming out of trees. So everything which we consume, that is what I said. The responsibility is with the consumer. The responsibility is with the family. The responsibility is within the community first, actually. The awareness has to be created. Then to the village level, then to the state level, then to this one. For example, when you talk about the other startup, what they have done, this is also the A2 milk, which is one of the special milk, which is being given to the farmers for the consumer for 80-85 rupees. This is a special milk. They decided that I will not give in a plastic package. I will not give it. I will give it in bottles. This bottles every day morning it has been supplied. While supplying the second one, the first one is taken back and then it has been refreshed. Then it is again coming back, right? But they are able to save huge amount of plastic. So, but it is a tedious process. For them, it is easy to adapt to, okay, you talk about any one of the state-owned dairy producers, they are all in plastics. They use the plastic and they put it across, they supply it. Because the transport ke liye easy hai, and it is also easy. So the circular economy practices is by the conviction, okay, wherein you have to feel that, okay, I have to reduce, I have to reuse, I have to recycle at my level, whatever be the things. For example, can I make anything which is being wasted, can I make something out of it? Can I give it to somebody so that it can be recycled? So many things has to be thought through, but there are perspective which is available, but this is only awareness. When I say 116 people, including me, are there, if you are convinced, okay, I have to make a change. For example, today, the paper use is coming down drastically. For example, the printouts which is being used in the country 10 years before or 20 years before, I was with a company called Toshiba Printers. We used to we used to sell photocopiers for large companies. Today, it is not there. Why? Because they never even print. They take PDF, send it to other customer, and they are also accepting, okay, PDF is accepted. I don't want any print. So even government says, I don't want any kind of prints. So until unless the policy and the perspective changes at every level, this never changes. For example, in my graduation time, we used to submit theses on book and bind. There are 7 or 8 copies we have to make and we have to present, then we have to make it. But today they say that, okay, you give only one official copy, but rest of the things can be in digital. So things are changing at every level. Things are making at every level. But this is one of the trend which we have to understand. And can I adopt something where it will make a larger impact for my community, which is very, very important. Because whenever you think about, there is a producer who is getting affected, there is a consumer who is getting affected. If the awareness is more, like Lavanya madam said, if the awareness has to be created, so that the producer, when he is making, okay, I have to have this kind of practices so that it can be used. And the consumer also adopt some of the practices which will be supported by the natural system of circular practices. So,
Yes, sir, I agree.
yeah, yes, sir.
So one more thing.
Yeah.
Awareness is, I agree that awareness to be created, but one very important thing, to reach out to those millions of people of this country, we need to have some kind of incentive for them. Maybe locally, maybe from a government side, from the institutions, some incentives, some encouragement, some appreciations. So something to be monitored well and to be appreciated and acknowledged, and some incentives to be passed on to them. That will encourage the people. Some awards or something like that.
Yeah. Sir, I'll tell you, I stayed in an apartment. I stayed in a individual house now. In the apartment level, it is easy to control, because when you want to say that segregate and give it your waste, we have a green bin, we have a red bin. It has been segregated and it has been given. But the initial days, I used to be the one of the member in the apartment. It is a tedious process. Every time when you go there, they put the wet waste into the other bucket and they dry waste into the other bucket. It is a tedious process. And some of the metallic component like blades, everything, even mirror, black broken one, they put it in another cover, which will hurt the employees who has been operating on that space. But you will not believe, after 1 year, the segregation is made, because we are used to go to every time and say that we will not take the waste until unless it has been segregated like this. So, and we also said whoever is doing, we will take it across. So then the waste will become stored at that level. Today it has been adopted. If you see the family level, I'm talking about at the individual house level, the place I'm staying. Again, we give the input, the output as 2 buckets, green and red. But the problem in the vehicle is they only segregate the plastic, but rest of the everything they put it on single one. So at the last mile connectivity, there are a lot of things which needs to be done, which is taking a transformative step, but with a lot of political with the respect to more divergent people, it is very hard to impose some of the things. So this is a classic example of one of the startups. Pool is a startup. They found one of the challenge in Ganga. They found lot of flowers which is being wasted onto the water, and water is getting diluted. Even though flowers which is being added to the water, it will create lot of problems. So there are 8 million flowers, 8 million tons of flowers which is being discarded into the Gangas every day. Every day. It is not a monthly consumption. So this gentleman who was part of our startup, so he found a way. Okay, I will collect it at my level, segregate it at a one, dry it. Then I create a paste out of it. From the paste, I create intensive sticks, which can be given for doom, right? So what he has done, he made local people, they collect, they bring it to the center, and the center, they process the one, okay, different flowers into different one. Then they created a paste out of it. And then with the artisan, they create the one. Today it is a 18 crore turnover company, right? But the initial days he is really suffering, because it is not easy, because the government will say that I will not support. But with a lot of support from the community, today this intensive sticks are even getting exported to some of the countries. So the waste to wealth is a real classic example of pool. So you can type pool. It is in Hindi word, flowers. So you can just type and see. And he also created a vegan leather out of this waste, which can be used for some of the bag purposes. So he created a bag also now. And there is a social impact side, because the artisans are getting paid every day for the whatever be the work they are doing for making this intensive incense and the bags out of this particular one. So this is one of the classic model for Chandani. You wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Actually, I wanted to add one more point in that.
Ah.
So, as of whatever you have said, currently, if we see
Hmm.
economic activities from that in our country, the service sector has more income, where the people focus more on the service sector for more like depending on the employment opportunities, where service sector provides more employment. So people focus more on the service sectors. So as this circular economy, if we focus on the primary sector, I hope it will be bringing a dramatic change in our country, where employment opportunity also will be more, and the rise of primary sector will also generate more awareness, and it help the small scale and the middle scale farmers too.
Thank you very much for your input, madam.
Thank you.
I agree for as you said rightly, service sector also has to they are adopting, primary sectors are not adopting. But I'll tell you, today there is an article which is been published by the government. There are penalties has been laid for the major companies, which is listed companies in India, for not adhering to the pollution standard which has been prescribed. Okay. So please understand, the penalty is not the one, as Dr. Anupji said. You have to make an incentive, because you have to make some kind of incentives to that. For example, I am working with one of the last mile delivery partner, where the deliveries are happening for like your Zeptos, your Zomatos, and other people. We have a EV vehicle partner. So the EV vehicle partner gets paid more money than a normal petrol vehicle partner. Okay. So why it is? Because it is traceable with respect to the energy conserved, which is more. That CO2 emission is very less in this kind of thing. So it is also getting adopted at every level. For example, if you see in the manufacturing sector, if you are using furnaces previously, the furnaces uses all the kind of the furnace oil or whatever be the furnace equipment which used to produce heavy amount of carbon dioxide. So the CO2 emission, which is now it has been prescribed, you have to use green efficient one, which will produce more power for a lesser energy. So they are also converting their chambers. There are manufacturing plant, they get special loads, and they are also converting. For example, you talk about Tata Steels, or you talk about Mittal Steels. All these chambers which is available on the input side also getting changed. For example, you would have seen in the Diwali level green crackers. Okay, so what does it mean? It produces less amount of fumes and more amount of sound. So every level it is getting adopted, but the rate of change is slow. I agree that. But until unless we as a community, because why I'm saying anything which is happening in the country, which is happening through either through a teacher or through a professor or through a lecturer. He says it has been listened. The students, then they spread the message, then they adopt it, they also make a change. So we have to ensure that we are the ambassadors for carrying that message of circular economy and circular practices, and adopt in their daily needs. It can be a simple one. Whenever you go outside, go with a small a bag. When I say a bag, it can be a what you call a cloth bag. Okay, 10 kg capacity, 5 kg capacity. When you take it, whatever with the vegetable or whatever with the things you bring it, you are avoiding 10 grams of plastic every month. So you have to calculate everything in a proper way. Okay, if I am not taking it, he is giving a something which is either he will charge 5 rupees for something else, or he will say that, sir, le lo. So if we practice some of the micro habits, which will increase the one. So this is the first case study. Anybody is aware of this company pool? Anyone has aware of this company? Annapurna said no. Okay. Madam says Kannada hotta. ನನಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮೇಡಮ್.
Kannada, if you are understanding, I'll ask some one question in Kannada, sir.
Yeah.
You can. Actually, ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ರೈತರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೆಯೋಕೆ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದ ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್, ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ರೈತನ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಥೆಫ್ಟ್ ಬಾಳ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಬೆಳೆದ್ರು, ಈಗ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ದನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೇಯಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಕುರಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೇಯಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಈ ತರ ಥೆಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆಯೋನು ಸಹ ರೈತ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ರು ಬೆಳೆದು ಅದು ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮೆಜೂರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್, ಆರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಥೆಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ಮಿಟಿಗೇಟ್ ದ ಥೆಫ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್?
Okay. Madam, actually there is a scheme which is available in Tamil Nadu. There is something called Bhumi Badhagapu Sangam. They call it as to protect. There is a inner community which is being formed, because these are all a security kind of Bhumi Badhagapu Sangam, madam. Because they call it as Bhumi is nothing but your field, okay, in a land. So protecting that, there is a society which is being formed. What happens in the coconut farming? There is a challenge, because the moment it is 45 days, there will be people, they are specialists in theft activity. So they will climb at the night and they take, and this is a nuisance in some of the areas, which is very common. Even in Hurricane, this is possible. Recently, I saw even in banana tree.
Not only that type of crops, sir. Even like the ragi, jola, corn, whatever they are all growing. This is happening by leaving that cattle farming they'll do, and this sheep farming. They leave throughout the night itself. Throughout the night itself, they make it like this.
Yeah. So what they have done, madam, this is a society formed one, and every month you have to give, whenever there is a produce, you have to give some X amount of X percentage of the output to this society, and they create a member, and they create a system in a such a way that, for example, if it is stolen, 10 mangoes stolen, and they refund that amount, the 10 mangoes into whatever with it. But sometimes when they get the caught of these people, they recover all the money from those people. So even today, it is very common in some of the places. Maybe
this was the major issue becoming in villages, sir, for the agriculture.
Okay. So the FPO, FC, FPC formation, madam, they have to create something wherein the security is, they will also travel on bicycle, they also travel on walking, they go to the farm, they have a notorious screening system. Who are all the people coming on the early morning, who are all the people coming on the late evening, all these things they make it, they have some kind of touch points. But I am not sure that they will able to protect everything, but there is a compensation which is happening. When I say compensation, okay, I lost some 30 coconuts. Okay, 30 coconuts. Currently, the input price is around 10 rupees. I will not able to compensate. I am giving 6 rupees, and that topic is closed. But they recover. I had seen there are penalties which has been made for these people, 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees, and the people they pay. Otherwise, they will ensure that everything is being put and they put it on to the jail. So there are systems, but the only thing is at the society level, which is possible, madam. So thank you. So I'll go to the next startup.
Why society level is not made all over across the India?
Madam, this is I'm talking about especially with respect to Kanyakumari district. This is because I have some farmers and farms, so they also give the money every month, because I used to ask them, why you are giving money? Then they said, sir, there is a protection, we never lose, or if there is a gain, we also get it across. So, but this can be suggested to the government whenever we look at some of the specific problems, because you are talking about some of the district in Karnataka, we can suggest, hey, why can't you have such a system so that it has been protected? But at the insurance level, it is very tedious to prove. For example, you say that I have a protection for my crop produce for insurance, but you cannot prove it, because first and foremost, the police will not take the case until unless it is a large loss of income. They will say that, okay, ye wala kuch problem nahi hai, aap adjust karwa do. So that kind of problem which will come. So you have to ensure that there is a systemic change which is happening with respect to the society. Okay, can we have at a local level? Then you can ask, sir, this is a support which is needed. Then the government will be able to support. This is a approved body. I'm talking about the system which is available there. It is approved body. And there is a place called Pollachi. Pollachi also, they have a system like this. And this is working in, especially in coconut farming places and hurricane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. So, if you see sugarcane biogas, because you must be aware, this is one of the thing which is available from the waste. Again, bioenergy which has been created. You would have seen the plant in the right side. They created the biogas waste and the bioenergy, and they employed technology in making that, and this has been used for from the sugarcane, the biogases are created. So again, this is another one which is specially for, which I said, from the rice mugs which is created, the wastage problem, and they created from the waste, they created rice plates, and this has been used for rice hugs, used for eating plates, and then once it is completed, it can be given for animals. Actually, any animals you can give it across. And you know that from the dairy one, the natural biogases which has been produced uh, from the animal waste, the waste is going to the chamber. From the chamber, there are gas connections which has been available, but it is a tedious process. But I had seen there are farmers with the modern technology, they are using it. So I have visited, as I said, Akshay Kalpa farms at Tiptur near Bangalore. It is just 74 kilometers from Bangalore, where they have a fantastic plant, and for every consumption of gas, they are not even buying one cylinder. So everything which has been in-house, and from the produce they are making it, and it is their system is stress-free milk. So if you see why the stress-free milk is conceptually correct, it is very important. When you tie an animal, there is a stress which is available. So you would have seen there are farms with music, farms with fans, coolers, everything which is been available. And in this farm, it is a open farm where it has been designed for 5 animal, 10 animal. The animal will have a free walk. Whenever it needs water, it goes and drinks water. Whenever it wants food, it goes to the respective place. And before the start of that farm, the produce has been made. They made the green grasses, and they create the entire food supply for next 6 months. Then the breed of animal which has been purchased, and it has been made. And they says whenever it has to give milk, it comes to the milk zone. Then there are machines are available. Then it has been put that it has been created, and the stress level in the milk is very, very, very minimal. It has been proved, because today there is an Australian company which has been invested, and they have been doing exceedingly good work in terms of the one. But again, there is a theory which is available. The fresh milk with respect to processed milk, the fresh milk consumption by Akshay Kalpa is almost about 55%, because it has been taken from the cow, it has been just made in the cooling plant, then it has been given to the consumer. So there are a lot of theory which is available with respect to the nutrition value, the stress level in milk. So till that time I visited the farm, I never even know animal has got a stress level. So why I'm telling, like human, they also have stress, right? So in the stress, when they are giving milking, we are also milking from them. There is a stress which is also hormone which is going to your own intake. So this is one of the case study for biogas. And now we will just talk about what are the structural problems or hurdles on the circular economy. Okay. So first and foremost, financial constraint, because people said, sir, awareness has to be created. Government is not giving money. Yes, people are well aware. This is a very, very important one. At the cluster level, some of the things are working. For example, as I said, Odisha I visited, which is one of the agriculture belt. Things are happening, because this is not happening at now. There are happening for a large time. And there are some belt like Assam. Now they picked up the organic value chain. They are doing well. For example, if you take in Assam, there is no poultry. There is one of the startup which we are working with the poultry, because almost about 82% of the supply of egg for Assam is from other states. So every value chain is currently working to create their own production system, so that they are well sufficient to sustain their growth actually. The second one is awareness and knowledge gap. It has been informed in this group also, because people are not aware, sir. And as one of the participants said, there has to be policy and regulatory gap. If we say that, okay, you are aligned to some of the circular one, we will reduce 10% of your property tax. People will follow. I'm telling you, people will follow. And technology access and innovation. there has to be a proper system which has to be available so that it can be done. And whenever there is a organic or residue free, there has to be market linkages, and the consumer should able to pay. Because when I visited the organic startup, which is 1.2 crores as of today, the rice at the outer level is 40 rupees, but when in that store it is around 74 rupees, but people are buying. But when I saw who are the target customer, mostly all women, mostly all mothers. Why I am telling this point? Because the target customers are very concerned about their health of their family. So if that kind of scenario is available, definitely the market linkages will not have any kind of problem. And today there are many systems which is tracking this particular one. There are many people are working on this. There are some infrastructure limitations, as I said, the coal chambers, coal points, coal transport, and special transport vehicles for transporting some of the one. For example, if you take a tomato, it cannot even handle a 42 degrees centigrade in the summer, but it goes to some 50 degrees centigrade. Within 3 days, the crop will be damaged. So, but at the crop level, production level, as a post-production level, there has to be a system to control all the things. And the cultural resistance has to be there, because while consuming, you should be very clear that what I am consuming and how I am consuming, and why I am consuming, right? Because which is very, very important, because probiotic, today we talk about probiotic. Water is available from a normal water to RO water to probiotic water to what else? So there is another one which is coming, alkaline water. So I recently visited one of the store for the RO water is available 6,000 rupees, 7,000 rupees, but the alkaline water is almost about 1.5 lakhs. I asked what is the specialty. It doesn't create any kind of acidity. It is anti-cancer property. So if you start consuming it, people say that you will not get any kind of cancer. But for a cancer patient, currently it is being given, right? It avoids such a things. So the things are changing from a water level. On a consumption of a normal water level, there are changes which is available. So in the rice, you would have seen ration rice, which is a bottom of the pyramid. Then people pay and take some good quality rice. But the husk, there are rice which we used to take with the black rice and everything, which are all 120 rupees, 130 rupees, 175 rupees, 200 rupees rice, 1 kg. But you need a lesser quantity for fulfilling all your requirements. So in every level, there are premiumization and affordability which is increasing, because people today, in terms of car, we used to buy the car at 3 lakh, 3.5 lakhs at a early stage. Today, the minimum car, which is 6 lakhs. But the problem with the auto manufacturers are that is not selling. People are going for a 15 lakh car only. Whenever they are wanted to buy, they wanted to go for a higher variant only. 40, 50 lakhs cars are consuming like cakes, hot cakes. So please understand, things are changing. The ADAS level, which is one of the safety parameters for the cars, are ADAS 2 is one of the parameters which is coming today, which is also creating every awareness for safety, security of the passenger. So this in the circularity, the Rascot, we should not say that risk has to be totally avoided. The risk cannot be avoided. There will be a risk which is at the business level, like rightly pointed out, primary services versus secondary services, service sector versus manufacturing sector. But every sector, as a principal owner of the production, you have to own it. You have to ensure that it has been properly disposed. You have the ownership of making less on everything and more production. So until unless it has been monitored at any level, these are all the things which is not going to change at all. So how we can increase the circular economy? It is digital one, because there are some IoT based system, there are AI tracking which is currently available, and investment flow, which is very, very important to understand, and consumer awareness, as one of the person said, consumer awareness is very, very important, and policy momentum, because it should not be only in paper, Okay, Swachh Bharat 2, and what are the other EPR norms? That is extended product owner responsibility. Because as a product owner, if I am giving a plastic water with RO water, my responsibility is take back the plastic from the market and circulate it back to that one. Or I have to ensure that there is an incentive which is being paid back to that one, so that they are bringing back. So in a alcohol store in Tamil Nadu, they are collecting back all the bacteria, and 10 rupees is being repaid back to them. So many systems can be created, but unless it has been implemented at the grassroots level, at the last line level, the policy and the penalties and the incentives has to be there, properly well managed. Okay, we cannot say that there has to be only 1,000 rupees penalty. People don't care about 1,000 rupees penalty. You have to say that 2 lakhs is a penalty. Only then people will be okay. Now I have to be very careful in the system, right? So, and the startups are doing excellent work in the entire one. At least in my area, I've been working with a lot of startups in every side, in the input side, in the package of practice side, in the production side, in the post-production side. They have a fantastic system, so that, but the rate of requirement is more, but more adoption has to come. But the things are happening. And lastly, you are all the people, academics and R&D, because you have to take to the last mile. Your last mile is always students, researchers, and to the community. Because whenever you consult some of the startups or companies, you have to ensure that, okay, what is your circularity practices? What is your sustainable practices? What are the metrics you are measuring? How you will implement some of the frameworks, and which framework you are following? And what are the intervention which is making the changing or challenging the status quo? If you ask some questions, I am very sure that you will come with a fantastic results. And the lastly, it is global collaboration, because you have to ensure that we alone can't do anything. We have to have more collaborators, more global systems to ensure that we are on the top of this one, because we already taken a vouch by 2070 we will be net zero emission country, in which our production versus consumption will be zero. In a sense, we will not be overshoot the entire year. That is, whatever we are supposed to emit, we will emit. Whatever be the things which we are supposed to produce, we will produce. But I am telling you, as a consumer, as a owner of a family, you have a role to play. As a family, there is a role to play. As a village level, there is a role to play. As a district level and the state level, and as a nation level, everyone has got a role to play. So we cannot say that the producer is not giving. We cannot do it. So whenever there is a toffee which is coming with a wrapper of something, for a longevity we use plastic. But today there are alternative plastic technologies available. Material science is improving. Biomasses are coming. So there are alternative materials are available, and people are going for it. So if you are aware as a consumer, I think you can make a lot of challenge with respect to the one, right? So the pedagogy in your academic one, what are the things you can do at your level? You can make a course redesign, case studies you can make, and holistic assessment, because whenever you talk about any kind of program, you have to understand what is the problem solving of the ability of the student or the researchers, okay, with respect to circularity, right? And the student research, you have to ensure you are also guiding them, you are also giving some input, you are also using some of the tools like ChatGPT, your Google AI, Gemini, all the tools, because these are all academic orientation. Academic tools are available for academicians. It is almost free. Even for a normal consumer, it is free. But you have to ensure that where it has to be used, how it has to be used, and what kind of usage will make a transformative effort for my students and my student community. And the experiential learning, because today we have no time, because otherwise my model of work is always workshop. First 10 minutes, the gyan will go. Then after that, we start employing. We will have more discussion points. And there has to be a takeaway, because whenever you conduct any workshop, there has to be a quantitative data versus qualitative data. Quantitative data, okay, how many people attended the workshop, given the attendance. That is not the one which is required for any seminar. I will always say that, okay, there are 3 or 4 people, they are taken back, they implemented, and they are also growing. That is a qualified one for a qualitative data, which is very, very important. And field exposure, because you have to visit, because in my presentation, I have visited here, I have visited here, I have visited here. Why I'm telling, you have to have a time for field visit. Whatever be the area, can I visit your university, understand some of the new practices? Can I visit that lab? Can I understand about the lab and the lab capability? Can I understand this community and understand their context of rural and the context of culture? Can I visit this particular lab, particular FPO, and understand their production system, input system, their post-production system, how they are managing their transport, all the things, if you have to understand, that is possible only by a field visit. So the exposure is very, very important. And you have to have an interdisciplinary focus, because today, most of the topic we have talked about, it is on agriculture, but the community which is available is 75% is non-agriculture. Why it is important? Because you need to have that focus. I cannot say that, sir, I'm a commerce graduate, I don't want agriculture. No. Whatever you eat, whatever you drink, everyday consumption is a farm product, or water which is being produced from any one of the water. Today, the Himachal water, Himalayan brand water is costly than anything. The black water is coming. So even in water, there are about 6 varieties which is available. And nano bubble water is also available in the country today, which are all costly. Maybe we are not aware of what are the new things which is happening. Please be aware and understand what is the interdisciplinary approach I have to take to understanding my researches on my cross-disciplinary things actually. So these are all the emerging trends which is happening: precision IoT, nanotechnology, digital twins, which is happening, and vertical farming. Because today we are talking about horizontal farming versus vertical farming, which is happening, and there are things which is happening on biotech side for changing transforming the agriculture valuable products and biofuels. Biofuel, you have seen your methanol, whatever be the things which you are producing, and climate smart agriculture, because it has to be resilient, lesser carbon emission, and more environment friendly. That is what we are making. And what is the alternative protein? Because today we are talking about lab protein, lab chicken. You are making alternative proteins, because we are all thinking that only through plants we can produce protein. There are alternate proteins are available, and which is also good for health actually. So, and whatever be the things which is available, traceability is very important, because when organic label is available in the product, doesn't mean that it is true or it is correct. So you have to have a traceability which is based on technology. Blockchain is one of the technology which is give the authenticity, transparency, and traceability, and the circularity across the supply chains. Okay. So what I can do in my level, that is as academic level, I can do curriculum integration, I can understand on local relevance, I can measure some of the impacts, and I can also make some kind of strategic partnership. And what are the barriers? Because we have understood Karnataka, what are the challenges? In Maharashtra, somebody talks about some of the challenges. So every cluster, every state, everything will have some kind of challenges. So can I create a model for a change through the local participation? That will be the good thing to make. So what we have covered today, it is what is the circular economic potential, and what are the research which is happening, and as educators, what is your role, and what are the local challenges, and how you can create your future curriculum, how you make partnership in this entire one, what are the things which is needed for doing more pilots, and that is what we covered in this entire thing. So I am almost in the last one. You have any doubts, clarification? I very happy to answer your doubts. Any questions? somebody is on sleep, they have to how to attain sustainable sericulture in sustainable agriculture, or we have to use cotton instead of silk. Sustainable agriculture in sericulture. Yes. So there are some crop specific models are available. For example, when we talk about genetically modified, initially we said that we are dead against genetically modified cotton, because we said this is going to change everything. But today, most of the things which we are using in the country, these are all genetically modified, right? And they only change the name, okay? But the GM crops are already available. So depends upon your requirement. You have to select a model, because my one thing which I will always say is you have to select the model of the crop, then you have to go behind the model and make the change. So that is my answer. Any other questions you have? Any other questions?
Shall we conclude, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I had given my LinkedIn detail, and if you feel anything which is needed, you can touch base or give a request for LinkedIn. Then I will accept it, and we can move forward. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your little participation and takeaways. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Shailaja, you are on. You have to unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful and thought-provoking session. To sum up, sustainability metrics help agriculture move from traditional growth to responsible progress. They provide measurable insights into how farming can be both productive and planet-friendly, ensuring food security while preserving natural resources for future generations. As we have come to the end of today's session, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the speaker, Mr. B.Gopalakrishnan, our beloved principal, vice principal, HODs, directors of various departments, and all the participants for your active participation. Thank you all once again. Please do not forget to share your valuable feedback, and the link will be shared in the WhatsApp group at your respective mail IDs. Good night.
Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.